Hi everyone and welcome to Excel with Mark, and today we're going to be looking at sorting within Excel, and this can cover a whole range of things, but we can see behind me here that we have a whole load of data. What we're going to be looking at is how we can then sort this in a way that if we want to see the highest profits or the lowest profits, or if we want to change the order numbers or sort them by customer names, then this is how we can do all this, and we're going to go through this really quickly within Excel. So what we'll do then, we just make sure that we can stand this out at the beginning, and we'll just put in some things up at the top here, just so that we know that these are definitely the headers that we have up here. And what we need to do is when we look at things within Excel, we can see that we have all these different numbers here for the customer ID. And say we want to sort this really quickly, we can just click within this column here, so we know that we're in column A now. And up at the Home tab, along to the side, we have this editing section here, and we can see that we have the sort and filter section. So we can click into that, and then we can sort by A to Z. And Excel knows, because we've got the top bar up here, that the colors have all changed stuff, that these are probably headers. But what it's managed to do is then change all of the things underneath here. And don't worry so much about all the rest of the data, because as well as just working on that specific column and working, to put that into the order that you want, Excel's also moved all of this other data across as well for you, so you don't have to worry too much. So if we were to just expand that column a little bit and then change it, say, the other way around, you can see that all this data moves as well with it. So don't worry too much about doing it, but sometimes people get a little bit of panic on when they see everything moving, so I say it's all good. Excel has you. Just to show you that this works the other way as well, what we can do is we can move across here within the data, and we can see they have the profit here. And say we wanted to do quicker changes, so we want to have the largest to the smallest there, then we can see that this will move, and again it will change all of our data over this side for us, so we can quickly see, just by sorting this, which way all of our things are and what profitable or what items are more profitable for us within our data. So when we're looking at data like this, then say we have a column at the side here, and we just want to put in some little notes for ourselves. So we just say this is notes, we can say just for us. And what would happen now if we were to change this data and move this around? So we can click within the profit as we did before, and then we sort it and change it the other way. So we go smallest to highest. We can see that our notes here change, and this is something that we don't want. So we can just undo that there and bring that back. And the way to get around this is to just insert a column there so that you have a gap between your data and the data that you have here. So if you're just using these for notes and you don't need them sorting or rearranging or anything, then we can just pop that in there. And now when you organize it from small to large, we can see there that it leaves our data alone because it's not attached to that part there, and we can just do what we need to do with it. With this trick as well, where you just insert a column, it also worked for the bottom of the data. So say we were all the way down here, if you just missed a column or two here, and then you started inputting data here, say for instance we just typed it in, when I can decide to spell hello, then what would happen is that it just missed that as well. And a good way of checking this is if you just click within your data and just press the Control and A button, we can see here, just by pressing it once, it's only going to select the data that is going to appear within this. If you press Control and A again, then it's going to select everything, but as we can just see here, it's only going to select the data that it thinks it's currently working with, as we have the gaps in the other stuff, so it'll leave that alone for us. So just a quick way to check that. Having this data selected then with the Control and A, what we could do is press the Control and period, and we can see it takes us up to our top left corner, then bottom right corner, and then bottom left corner and top left. And what it'll do is just pressing the Control and period there, it's just going to move you around the different corners of the data you've got selected. So you can see there just quickly moving around, or you can obviously hold the Control and down if you need to do it as well, just to move around. But just have a quick check, use your arrows and stuff like that, but just some shortcuts there if you need to move around what is currently selected. With our data, then what we need to look at then is if we have numerous orders within our data, then how would we sort it by the order ID, and how would we sort it by profit over on this side? And the way that we could do this is on the Home tab, and then within the sort and fill we have the custom sort part here. Or another way of getting to this is on the Data tab, And then you can see that you have your sort function here, and these both do exactly the same for what we need to do. So we can click within our data as we did and click the sort, and we can see that we get this little pop-up here, and we can see that it's already highlighted that our data has headers. But what we can see here is our first level of sorting. So we can click into this, and we know that our first level of sorting, we want to do it by order ID. And once we've done by order ID, we can then go to cell value. So we want the things that are within the cell, and we want that to be A to Z. And we can change that to however you want, but for me, I'm just going to keep it as A to Z by now. And what we can then do is add another level to this. So then we can say, well, if two of the order IDs are exactly the same, then what we want to do is go down and we want to sort by profit, and we want to sort that by largest to smallest. And we can go through there, and we can see within this second one here that we have this highlighted, that I've just highlighted now for you, and we can see that the order number looks to be the same. But if we move across to the end of the data now, we can see that it's sorted it in a way that we get the highest one first out of the two. So in terms of profit, we've got the £68 in profit, or the £87 in loss, okay, at one side there. So that's a way that we can sort by both conditions there, and then at least it's kind of working through things if you have duplicates. And we can see again here that we have another example of this. So if we just change this one yellow, and again you can see that, you know, we don't have any negatives within this one, but we have the £107.67 and then the £2 that it's got listed there. And this is kind of one of them where you can keep adding to this as well. So when you're up in your data, we could just add another one if we wanted to do, and just keep adding, you know, these levels on as we need to do, moving it up and down. And, you know, you want to do by order ID, then you want to do by profit, and then, you know, whatever it is that you want to do on that basis, and keep working through your data. So hopefully that's really interesting for you and could help with your data, sorting it out. If you have any questions at all, as always, leave them in the comments below. If you're looking to join an Excel community or learn further on Excel, then don't forget to check out the link in the bio from a community that we have. And again, any questions, don't forget to ask, and we'll see you again soon.